Hey loves, it's Carol with Crystals and Chi, and this is me continuing with my healing journey. And if you have your own healing journey, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I'm gonna start with, and I may be doing some of this out of order as we go. It just depends on what healing journey I'm talking about. I've had quite a bit of it, so this is just me talking with you as a friend, drinking my cup of tea, and chilling as much as I can while talking about my healing journey. So that's kind of how it'll go. So let's see. And I'm not using a script. When I first started this 5 years ago, I was reading my OneNote. Now I'm kind of sort of freestyling. I have some notes written down a little bit, but for the most part, it's just going to be off the top of my head. So I might say a few million times, which I'm going to try not to, but here we go. So let's see. I was born to a teen mom. She was 17 when she got pregnant with me, 18 when she had me, married my dad, and they got divorced when I was about 3. I was told that I was a fairly happy baby, as babies are. And when they got divorced, I was quite sad, and there's not much to say about that because I was about 3. I do remember little bits here and there, like Christmas and birthdays. I didn't see him a whole lot that I remember of once they got divorced. I think one of the reasons why it took them a little bit to get divorced is back then in the 70s, the law was that you went with your mom. And I think in hindsight, I think that my dad knew that if they got divorced, that he might not see me as much, which I didn't see him a lot. So there's that. I think that did have a lasting effect of not seeing him very much. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. And I don't know. I wished I would have seen him a lot more. I was a daddy's girl. I think my earliest memory that I can remember of is probably the most traumatic thing I've ever been through in my life. I'm not going to go into full detail of it. We'll just say that there were I know people don't like when people hem and haw, and I apologize. It's the way I word things. I want to be careful and be mindful and be respectful. My mom had boyfriends, and I don't even know if he was a boyfriend, but he was watching me while my mom worked. And I'm not going to go into big detail about it just because it was so traumatic that I think it actually changed the brain chemistry in my mind. I have had therapy since, quite a bit, because I'll be 55 this year. And this happened when I was about 4. And I believe it caused me long-term brain trauma. My memory has never really been very good, and there were certain things I was told not to say, and I was told some very threatening things, and I know this because of the therapy I had. I had like a hypnosis type of therapy, and what happened to me was very traumatic. I was told harm would be due to my mom if I didn't do things, and it was a very lasting trauma that I didn't even realize or know about until, I knew things happened, I just didn't know to the extent. And that was probably one of my biggest traumas of my childhood, other than not seeing my dad a lot. But this altered my brain. And the things that happened, no child should ever go through. Especially no child. I don't care what age they are. But my 4-year-old body went through a lot. And it was extremely traumatic. And gave me empathy for people who have gone through that. I think it was about after, I know that it happened more than once, and I was told that as a child I went from very happy-go-lucky to very inward, and I just never looked at anything the same ever again. I developed a fear of men. I developed even certain objects that looked like a certain thing, if you know what I mean, I wouldn't touch. And I think it was definitely obvious, and they had me go through therapy. It was that obvious. And I want to say a couple of months later, after the last episode had happened, they found said person, man, and he had died in the cold. And they said, you don't ever have to worry about him again. I was like, okay, that's good, because I never went around him. He was never around me ever again after that. After that last episode, I don't know what happened, but I was definitely never around him again. And then when I found out he died, I felt a sense of sadness that he was hurt, but also a sense of sadness that he had died. I was told I think he drank himself on a park bench and he died on the park bench. He froze to death after drinking. Now, I don't know if it's because maybe he was drunk when he was doing these things and he felt so much guilt that he decided he couldn't live. I don't know. But I don't know. I think maybe he did feel a sense of guilt for everything he did. Part of me is kind of happy that he felt that guilt. Part of me is, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings around it. And I still am healing from it, because I'm working right now that I know how that trauma, what it did to my brain, like physically altered the neurons in my brain. I'm now working towards healing those neurons. Healing, even though it's been so long. Because my memory is, it's kind of like my inner child locked a safety around me. It's like my inner child's like a safety net. And now somehow I need to break that net and heal that net. Not break it, heal that net. So I do things to help me with that. I'm an energy healer, so I do my own energy work. I also do crystals and stuff. So in these videos, I'm also going to share some of the crystals I use. And any of the things that I do to help out. So I've really been working a lot lately on healing and knowing that that won't ever happen again. And so I use my red jasper. Red jasper I use for my root chakra. And I take that pain away. Just slowly work that pain away. And this one, my inner child loves this. It's orange carnelian. And I love orange carnelian, and it is so healing. When I was going through the hypnotherapy, spiritual hypnotherapy with my my witch sisters, we went through that, and I was holding this the entire time. And my inner child, I could just feel her just holding like this because there was so much pain to release. And I remember feeling after that and learning and remembering some of it. I'm like, no wonder I have this memory issue. So I've been healing it, and I may have to do a little more than that, because even I know that energy healing does go so far, but I think I may have to have a little bit more therapy on my mind, on my brain, to do some things. I've been researching it. There may be some electric therapy I need to do. But I have slowly gained some of my memory back from those episodes. But these are my go-to. This is orange carnelian. Orange carnelian is really good for your sacral chakra. for both your root chakra and your sacral chakra. It really helps to draw out and get those emotions out. And it's really helped me out. So those are the two that I use the most. And I'm still going through that. It was that traumatic. And that part of my healing journey is something that I'm probably going to be working on for as long as I know. And I've just come to accept that. And I hope that no one watching this has ever gone through anything comparable. But if you have, again, we can heal together. This is actually going to be a little bit of therapy for me, just talking about it. You, me, and the camera. I'm not smiling to make light of it, but I'm smiling because there's a way to heal. It's when you don't have a way to heal that's not good. But we have a way to heal. We can build a community of healing, which is what Crystals and Chi is all about. This channel is all about us. It's about helping to get through things and knowing that you're not alone. You're not alone. We can work through this together. I hope this wasn't too much for the first restart of this journey, but that is probably one of the most dramatic. So I hope that you join me for the next video. Now that I've gotten through this one. So I hope you subscribe, like, comment, whatever it is you want to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Love and light, my beautiful friends. Love and light.